Hi there. I've been asked to present a little bit of a demo of how using breakout rooms would work in the particular use case where someone has, let's say, 6 or 9 students available with posters, and they want to make their research posters available for people to look at and to be able to come into their individual break rooms to discuss the poster. And the idea that was suggested is it may be a little 3x3 grid with miniature of the poster or of the presenter and their name, and then to have breakout rooms with those names made available, and so that attendees could come into the main room, see which things are available, and then allow them to pick and choose which rooms they'd like to go into. So here's a little demo. Hopefully it explains it and gives you some thoughts and ideas for how you can do it. Here we go. All right, so I've done the share of the little 3x3 grid, and at this point, make the assumption that you have not yet created your breakout rooms. You can go down here to the more, up to the breakout rooms. And so let's say, for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to create 6 breakout rooms, and we want the participants to be able to choose which room they want to be in. And I am going to rename this room Mary Smith. Rename this one Daniel Siebold. He was the actual speaker at the Arizona State Association of Parliamentarians last year. He is one of the newly assigned authors of Robert's Rules of Order, and just a fantastic speaking guy. All of the other names are made up. Of course, you could actually create these rooms not really in advance of the meeting, but before sharing the slides, kind of before things all got going. But I just wanted to show that it doesn't take all that much here. And so I have over there on the laptop version of what's being seen, this is just what I'm sharing. At this point, really, I can just open all the rooms. So it does show me as not joined anywhere, or the over there on the laptop. And so now I'm going to go over to the laptop. Over here on the laptop, I'm going to go down to the breakout rooms, and suppose I want to take a look or a gander or a discussion with Mr. Forrest Greenlee. I go down to the bottom to the breakout rooms, and I simply pick Forrest Greenlee and join. Now, here's always the issue with breakout rooms. You get the same effect as when you are in the waiting room and then you are permitted to come back into the waiting room. Things change a little bit, and so this is what's going to happen to the average user, and as long as we sort of prepare them for it, it's not a big deal. The windows go away momentarily. And now I am in the breakout room. Now, how do I know I'm in the breakout room? Well, it's hard to tell. You can click on this and you can see that you can choose the breakout room. Suppose I decide, well, enough of Mr. Forrest Greenlee. I want to go over here and see Mr. Daniel Siebold instead. Here you can see, I am in the Forrest Greenlee room. So if you go there, you can tell where you are. but now I want to go to see Mr. Daniel Siebold, and I click the join button, and it wants to confirm. The same thing happens. The windows go away, the windows come back, and for some reason, my window never comes back full screen. Most people will. So I am now in the Daniel Siebold room, and you can see over here on my host view that I have seen the Ray laptop move from the Forrest Greenlee over to the Daniel Siebold room. And so you can let this go. Let's say you want to allow 30 minutes for people to go visit, 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there, sort of a thing. You can broadcast to them. We'll be closing the rooms in 5 minutes, and click that broadcast, and that then shows up over at the top of the window for the individuals. And then 5 minutes later, you can simply close all rooms, which will require everyone to come back in. They get 15 seconds. You can set this to be immediate or 15 seconds or 30 seconds. I usually let it be 15 so they're not quite so surprised. And then they're back into the main room with the screen share still active. So if they forget what they are in at the time, I'm going to move this person to the John Jones room. The person says, hey, we're inviting you to join John Jones room. You can either click now or, I don't really want to do it. You are now there. Now, here, there's the ask for help. We typically don't want them to ask for help because in order to help them, you as the host or someone in the main room, a co-host perhaps, has to go join that room in order to provide the help. If the host who is doing the screen sharing goes to help someone, the screen sharing goes away. So anyone that was kind of trying to pick and choose which one they want to do could be problematic. But here's the other thing to do, is to tell them that if they want help, all they have to do is come back to the main room. So down here in the lower right-hand corner is the leave room button. It's just leave the room. It's not leave the meeting. If I click on it, it says, hey, do you want to leave the breakout room or do you want to leave the meeting? You just click leave the breakout room. Back into the main room, and we see that the Ray laptop is no longer in any of the rooms. And in fact, we can go here and see participants. Ray Harwood is here. Now, if I go back and reassign Ray Harwood to the Mary Smith room, while Ray Harwood is deciding if he wants to go there or not, he still shows up in my participant list. If they then go over to the breakout room, you'll notice that they disappear off of my list. So at this point, participants that are in the main room are in the participants list. Participants that are in breakout rooms are on the breakout window. So it's not horribly difficult, but it is a little different. And, from this perspective, you can see who is in your room that may want to chat and go, hey, I'm not really sure which one I want to go to, give them some advice or whatever. But you can also see who is in the other rooms as well. So And there they are back on my list. They show up here, but we see that the rooms are closed. So the fact that that person was originally in that room, or at least most recently in that room, is still there. If you wanted to change some options, here's the countdown timer. You can set it to 10, 15, 30, 60, or 120 seconds to wrap up. You can set it so the breakout rooms close automatically after they're created 30 minutes later. You can allow participants to choose the room. You can allow participants to return to the main session at any time. I recommend those. I wish there was a way to have them not able to ask for assistance, but the issue there is that I do not believe it's possible for you as the host to chat with them while you are in the main room and they are in a break room. There you go. Hope that was good. If you have any questions, let me know.